Hola, this is Lila from lilaxns.com, lilaxns.com, and I'm bringing you today a book review by Shaka Senghor, Righting My Wrongs, Life, Death, and Redemption in an American Prison. And I will be sharing the 3 bullet points that I recommend, why I recommend this book. So thank you for watching this. So the first point that I wanted to make was the ability that we have as human beings to get given uh, a second chance. And I would like to share the story that I just, filled me with tears when I was reading the story. The way that Shaka uses his ability to storytell is just amazing. I, eh, I was just impressed and moved how, somebody at an early age, decides to run away from home at the age of 14. And he shares the abuse that he felt from his mother. And he just, becoming of age, he couldn't handle it anymore. So he ran away. And in his neighborhood, an older um, person said, I'll take you out of your raggedy clothes and I'll put food on your table and, come work for me. And unfortunately, this was where his path just, got twisted, and he became introduced in the drug business, and he started to just, make a wrong decision after another. So I love the topic of this book, which is righting my wrongs, because a lot of the times we take wrong turns and there's no self-examination as of why we do the things that we do, and if we don't question if there's other alternatives. So the biggest one of the bullet points that I got from this book is that it's never too late to turn your life around. So as he continues to tell in his story, um, is that he does several things and in prison that grant him solitary confinement for different at 2 different times, and he shares how life is there, the hostility, the psychological traumas that other inmates have, and the mental illness that is there. He shines light on the prison system, and he is active currently in an initiative to cut U.S. prison populations in half by 2025, using the hashtag cut 2025. Um, Let me make sure I got that right. Hashtag cut 50. Okay. And so he's been very active from his release. So the story that he continues to tell was that he got shot at the age of 17, I believe. And this left him going into a state of PTSD, just of fear, and also of carrying a gun. So that decision led to him a year and so many months later to shooting someone over just a discussion outside of his home, and that led him to be incarcerated for the next 19 years of his life. But in this book, he shares the story of how he turned things around, and his perspective was very warped and very twisted. And I just love the way he explains, and he also shares some letters that did change his life. So the second bullet point that I wanted to share with you was that the fear of being seen as a monster. He Shaka shares a story that his son, I believe at the age of 10, sent him a letter like, I know why you're in prison, dad, something like that. And my mom told me it's because of murder, and to be seen as a monster. And to me that's like a fear, right? And to be seen, and for somebody to judge my parenting, or like, oh, you're such a monster. And I don't know, for me this was big for me too, to read the pages of how he himself saw his child perceived in this way, and that really just broke him down, and he decided, it was a pivotal point in his life where he decided, no, I'm going to be more to my son, not just this term, a murderer, a monster. So he shares the letter that he wrote with his son, and it's just so it's so sad to think of how others, would perceive you, and how yourself you perceive yourself. And he didn't want to, the last thing to be known of him to be a murderer. His legacy, he didn't want it to just be, um, based on a decision of a poor decision that he had made during that time. So he ends up, redeeming himself through forgiveness and, different working on himself in different levels, doing meditation as well, and journaling. He found it a very powerful tool for him to just, evolve and become, a better man, and to really change his life around. So the third bullet point that I wanted to share was, to self definition. And I also wanted to share a quote that he shares in his book. In life, it's not how you start, that matters. It's how you finish. So I think, that's my biggest takeaway from this book is that sometimes, we make mistakes, and we self pity, or we, just judge ourselves and kind of stay stuck there. So for me, what really, caught my attention is that he recognized, he took self responsibility for what he had done, and started to take more control over his thinking, and to ultimately take control of his actions and his destiny. And now he's out, and he is becoming a mentor to many people, an inspiration, a lecturer at the, state of Michigan, and different places. And I'm so excited, and I'm also thrilled, and just, to be able to be in his presence. He will be one of the speakers for Dr. Shefali in her, annual conference of Evolve. This October 26th through the 29th. Check her out at drshefali.com. I will be going, and I am just, I'm so ready to change, old patterns that, just I keep, needing to deconstruct things from my past, from my parenting, from the way I was raised, and to actually walk this path of who I want to become. So I invite you to check out my website and lilations.com. That's lilaxns.com, where you're invited to be not who you are, but who you dream of becoming. Thank you for watching.